back to another video of Paddy and Chip. Today we're going to go through the top 6 HSC chemistry resources. Now, a bit of a disclaimer. Now, you have to select which resources best suit your weakness. Now, there are two types of weaknesses. That's either content or exam technique. Content in the sense that you need to go through a bit more revision. You need to have that extra detail in the back of your mind for those 8 markers or those big content dumps, the regurgitations. So you need to select resources that cater that sort of domain. And then there's the exam technique, which is basically just going through, answering everything in detail, making sure you cover everything in order to gain full marks confidently. And hopefully the resources I suggest today will cater to both of those domains. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first chemistry resource I would recommend would be the Excel Year 12 Chemistry Guide, Study Guide by Jeffrey Thickett. They're good for 3 reasons. First, the content. Now, some students might find it a bit jarring that there's so much detail in this book. There is quite a lot of detail in this book that you need to uncover in order to reach the fundamentals, but I think it's highly rewarding. And it goes through stuff that textbooks would normally neglect, which is why I like this book so much. The second reason why I like this book so much is the syllabus checklist, where they separate the syllabus, where the author separates the syllabus into specific questions that sort of have a specific keyword in mind, whether that be explain or assess or evaluate, which can be really, really useful. And also the third reason is that they go through HSC style questions. So some questions might be a bit wordy, but I think that it'll be quite valuable for you because it shows you again what separates a Band 6 student from a Band 5 student. And I find that that is really valuable. Okay, so the next resource I would recommend is the ATARNotes topic tests. Now, these topic tests are really valuable because they have a range of questions that target your understanding, and rather than just making you memorize the content and just regurgitate the content, they make you actually understand the content, which is a huge difference and is what you really need to get that Band 6. More importantly, I think like the detailed solutions is what makes this book really worth it. The detailed solution does show you how to get from 3 out of 4 marks or 2 out of 4 marks to 4 out of 4 marks. Those 4 marks. And it shows you what Band 6 students do differently that allow them such great marks. So this resource is a big recommendation. I suggest you just go through this book throughout the year, and it will really help you solidify your understanding of content. Okay, so the next resource I would recommend is the Success One HSC Chemistry Past Paper Booklet, or book, whatever you want to call it. This book is really valuable in that it has questions that are suited to the new syllabus. So they have 7 past papers. So they have 4 past papers that are remodeled, HSC past papers that are remodeled to the new syllabus, plus 3 sample HSC papers, which I used in the holiday period before my HSC, and that I found really, really good because these papers target so much areas of the syllabus. So like from experiments to the concepts, and yeah, it's just a really, really good resource. And they also have questions from 2001 to 2014 by module, so that's helpful as well. And yeah, this is one resource that you should not miss. This is something that you should keep on before trials or just before the HSC to use as a full paper practice, if you get what I mean. Okay, so the next resource I would recommend is the Conquer HSC website. This website is an incredible resource that I wish I discovered earlier because they cover 2 things that I described earlier: content and exam technique. They have 2 trial papers that are some questions are particularly difficult, and they have a huge number of questions as well. They have like 1,000 questions, which is insane and incredibly useful. And they also go through content, and they summarize the content in an easy and understandable way. Okay, so the next resource I would recommend is the ATARNotes forum. And this is an incredible resource which I highly recommend, not only for chemistry, but for other subjects from sciences, so physics and biology, to English, advanced, English standard, whatever subject you want. And in particular, these forums have a question thread that is really, really useful. So you ask a question in the question thread and you get a detailed solution. They walk you through step by step. And these are just, these are answered by high achieving students or students that just know their content. So it can be a really useful resource if you're stuck on a particular question or not. So yeah. So the next resource I would recommend is the Board of Studies forum. In particular, there is a chemistry thread started by this user called Jazz51, someone, right? And what he basically does is go through the different types that are asked in HSC chemistry exams. So he goes from answering titration calculations, blank titrations, to boiling point, how to answer boiling point questions. And this is a resource I heavily used before my HSC, the day before my HSC and stuff, just to get me through like what is needed to get those full marks. Again, as I said, to go from 3 out of 4 marks to 4 out of 4 to full marks, right? And so yeah, and he's just an amazing resource that you should definitely check out. Okay, so that's been it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this video has been of some use. As always, there are links below in the description of the various resources I have listed. Make sure to follow the Instagram. We need more followers. We haven't really been keeping up to the posting schedule, which I apologize, which me and Shivan apologize for. But hopefully we get right on it. And yes, make sure to follow that. And yeah, hope you like the video. Like the video, subscribe. Really helps to keep our momentum going in terms of uploading videos. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.